world we live in is a story written by someone else. And we have books, and we have paintings, and we have myths and legends. But do we know what's really true? Because everything we get is secondhand information. As we know, history, or more to the point, his story, is written by the winners, by the conquerors. Those who go in and destroy societies then rewrite the story in their own image. And we are left here to try and put the puzzle pieces back together, because we've been looking at this for a while, and our story is wrapped up in the information we're given, but it is wrapped up, and much of it has been hidden. And when we look back in history, we find, there seems to be a date, a time around the 1500s where all the information suddenly changed. The information about the place we inhabit changed, our sciences changed, our laws changed, and that change has continued. And when we go back, it's hard to find things, credible information from before 500 years ago. So we have to dig and put the pieces together and see what matches up, so that we can come up with our story. That's a little bit somber, wasn't it?
It was.
Wake up, everyone.
It works.
Sorry, I thought I'd put something new on, and that was, yeah. Next time it'll be a dance track.
Dance.
Let's dance, yeah. Let's get some BurnEye dance going. How is everyone? Welcome. Thank you all for being here. The BurnEye dance, the dance you can only do when you're dead, but you need friends to do it.
No,
BurnEye dance.
How is
everyone? Die. Who have we got here? Exactly right. We don't die anyway. Summer Dragon, US Reset. Oh, I saw one of your videos the other day. I think you were out with US Reset, weren't you? Walking around a house.
Yeah, Frankie, US
wrestler's
Reset.
house. That was US Reset, wasn't it?
Mansion. It was pretty awesome. Well, the outside.
There you go. Everyone go check out US Reset. Give them a like and a subscribe and all that good stuff. To join now, hello, how are you? Michael Carlson, Rainer. Oh, what did you lust after, Rainer? Rainer lusted. 456 in Oz. Oh, what's that? I don't know. That's very hot if that's the temperature. It's about 38 in Perth. All the sun. Hello. CJDV. Hey. Thank you for being here. Mad. Hello. Grand Tour. Hensley.
Hello, Charlie.
Folwasa. Hello. Thank you. All right. And everyone else, Hippie Shake, as usual, thank you for being here. Kiwi MacArthur, SS, Charlie C. Hello, the Big Kush. And everyone else, thank you for being here. We are going to have a look, a little bit of a look at Coral Castle today. I did an interview the other day. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my Facebook, my Telegram, all that kind of stuff. Probably go up on Spiral Up. But I mentioned Coral Castle, and then someone sent me a message saying, I went to Coral Castle, and my husband's a builder, and he said there's not too many things there. What's your take on it? And I thought, I haven't looked into it for a while, so we may as well have a bit of a look, right, and see what the mystery is, and even if there is a mystery.
I believe there is. And shout out to Charlie C.
Yeah,
Charlie's in the chat, and he also has been there and sent me some pictures of his travels there that we will also use.
Awesome. And hello, Jethro. How you doing? Going to catch up with Jethro in a few weeks when I hit the East Coast, getting all ready. I've decided I'm just going to sell everything and take off. I was going to get cars or a shipping container, but I'm selling everything and just traveling light, I think. Going to buy a tent and a solar panel, and off I go.
Attaboy. Minimalism.
So it should be fun. So, minimalism, man. So to start with, I got something that I think everyone will be. Well, actually, I've got a few things BurnEye will be interested in. The first one is from your home country. I just saw this on TikTok, so I thought, why not play it? Let's see what it's all about. Never gets old.
All right.
There you go. That was uplifting. And that was Vancouver, 1907, completely built out. Electricity, tram lines everywhere, and everyone's in horse and buggy still. But this one may be more up your alley, Mr. BurnEye. Let's check this out.
Up here, I also have another tone generator set to 525, and I'm about to show you what will happen with that. Things happen much quicker when you're using pure tones rather than the other stuff I was using on YouTube, which had like sounds mixed in with it. There we go, 528.
Ooh.
And already you can see a much more stable fracture. Okay, I have to do this quick because this stuff does not last. 525. You can see
that, and I'm going to share it so it's a bit bigger and hopefully louder.
Yeah. Looks fascinating, though.
I'm about to show you what will happen with that. Things happen much quicker when you're using pure tones rather than the other stuff I was using on YouTube, which has like sounds mixed in with it. There we go. 528. And already you can see a much more stable fracture. Okay, I have to do this quick because this stuff does not last. 525. You can see there's a whole range of tones here, but 525, you can hear the fluctuation there. There we go.
What the hell?
Well, what is going on here?
I don't even know what that is. I don't know. I only saw the start of it. But they're saying it's a portal, so I guess they're saying that he's looking through at a different to a different place or something. So now I'm wondering. I thought it was cool. Now I'm wondering if it's very fake. But I mean, I don't. God,
it's too small.
Who knows
to
these
really
days? But
see, eh? Weird. I'm gonna have to get Jeremiah to get a better look at that.
Yeah. So I couldn't hear what he said at the start. He says what's in the jar, I think, but oh, how do I stop sharing? Oh, what's happened? Oh, there. Yeah, I don't know what was in the jar, but something. But yeah, I didn't see that end bit where it actually opened up into a portal. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's throwing something through it. That could imagine if that was how simple, portal technology was. It's got to tune into the right place, put the right powder in a jar, and jump in.
And it's some synchronicity there that it's most likely CGI, but I'll give it a small chance of being real because I was recorded a 4-hour private session with the Hutchinsons last night. And Nancy and John Hutchinson were talking about how they use some sound waves to interfere and possibly create portals and some new experiments they're going to be doing. So who knows?
Well, see, this is the thing. A portal has to be, well, as far as I can work out, a portal is a vesica Pisces, right? It's where two different fields overlap, and it's the space in between that they create. So it has to all be to do with frequency, and sound is a frequency, right? So who knows? So much stuff is being uncovered, and also, they say all the text, going that way, right? It's all going to be more sort of frequency-based technology rather than what we've got at the moment. So who knows, right? Could be, and of course, if we dismiss it, then we give away the chance of finding out if it's true, and it could be true. So who knows?
I agree.
So Coral Castle. Hey, what do we know about Coral Castle?
It is one fascinating place, and that apparently Ed Leedskalnin even moved it. He built it at one spot and then moved it to Homestead, Florida, because of the ley lines, he said, weren't right where it originally was. And I think it was about 75, maybe somewhere between 50 to 100 miles that he moved it. And that moved it all, rebuilt it, built it by himself, and then moved it and rebuilt it by himself. So if you see the pictures of
that's where a lot of the he was 5 foot. I think they say 45 kilos, man. He was like a child. But one of the mysteries is, how do you move it? Because apparently, from the truck driver, apparently a truck rocked up and he said, "Go away, I'll load it." And I went around the corner, and like literally 5 minutes later, he said, "Come back," and there was a massive 10-ton block on the truck. So that's one of the stories. And of course, there's the whole stories of the cones, the two boys who said they saw him levitating rocks and he was holding ice cream cones.
Yeah,
and of
exactly.
course, the cones, right? We've seen the cones a lot in our sort of research. And again, definitely, it's a funnel for sound, right? That's what a cone is. It's a vortex.
You got it. So I believe there's something to it, big time, with that. There's just too much to it that for it not to add up. And he's also famously quoted as saying that he built it using the secrets of the pyramid builders of Egypt. And that he also wrote a couple of books on on magnetic current, which isn't really talked about in modern electrical engineering and physics, and it's been rather suppressed and classified. So I do believe there's something much, much more to his megalithic construction.
I think so. And just a background, if anyone hasn't, come across this place, it's in Florida, built by Edward Leedskalnin. who was a Latvian immigrant, born 1887. Like we said, he was like 5 foot, 45 kilos, this tiny little dude. And the legend says that he was engaged to be married, and his bride left him on his wedding day, and she was 16. And so he built this park to his sweet 16. Basically, they say that he wanted to go and prove that he could, you know, do something of significance. And so he spent his life building Coral Castle. And yeah, like Bernie said, he built it and then he moved it. So it says here, without anyone really taking notice of his methods, he quarried, transported, crafted, and constructed around 1,000 blocks of coral for his home. And he lived there as well. So Coral Castle was literally his garden, but it did turn into a tourist attraction. Some of the blocks weighed in excess of 30 tons.
And
yeah, he lived in like a little spot. I've got to actually. I've got some pictures. I'll share some pictures about that.
Let's see some pictures of it.
Have I got it open? Oh, hang on. Let me. Okay. And of course, he had this door. How big was it? It was a couple of ton. It's still there, and it's very similar to a door that our own Mr. Paul Cook found recently. It did break, and they took it apart to repair it. And when they did, they said they solved the mystery of Coral Castle, because they found that it had a like a truck axle through it and was sitting on a truck wheel bearing, and that was the mystery solved. How he got it perfectly through the center of a not perfectly square block is not talked about. And of course now it's blocked off. You used to be able to go through. I mean, pretty dangerous. So like, actually, there's a video I've got we could have a look at. Like, you wouldn't want to get stuck and this thing spins, right? And you see these kids running through it. It's like, oh my God.
And then it's like, oh, they solved it, but then they couldn't fix it themselves. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They knew exactly how it was done, but yeah, they couldn't fix it. And this was 50 years after the fact or something, when they had all the tech. There's bits like this, you know, found around the place, and this is obviously, you know, a homemade coil of some kind.
Yeah.
Don't know what these bits coming out the bottom are. And this is, you know, the mystery that a lot of, you know, I guess mainstreamers don't look at, and they're like, oh, well, it's just blocks. But, you know, the flywheel, you know, if you've heard of Coral Castle, you've heard of the flywheel, and lots of people are out there doing experiments with this flywheel setup, trying to make free energy devices. And of course, it was based on the sky. We've got the sun, we've got Saturn, different planets around.
Heavenly cycles of Saturn. He was huge into measuring the moon cycle, how it ran around the sun cycle, and apparently only worked a few days a month, depending where the moon and planets were. So there's a lot more to it.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now these are chairs. Now, as far as I can tell, these are the same ones. They used to all be rocking chairs, but clearly they're not anymore. So, you know, probably for our safety, right? Because everything's for our safety. But I don't know if they've been buried a bit or if they've gone in and cut the bottoms. But they used to all be rocking chairs, like
always for rocking safety, chairs. Of course.
Always for your safety. That's it. Back in the 50s. And it's such a 50s attraction. All the attractions in the 50s were cool, weren't they? Nothing electric, just cool stuff. And this is him. He's even written his initials, just in case you don't know. Now there's the rock gate. And yeah, this is probably back in the, I don't know, 50s, 60s. And he was a strange, you know, he was purported to be a bit of a strange little dude, and a bit of a loner, and a bit of a moralist, shall we say. And he was right into ethics, and when people used to come to the park, he used to follow them around and preach to them and stuff. So he was a bit of a character. And this is him in his work. This workshop. There's a little castle. Well, you'll see. And he lived on the top floor, and this was his workshop underneath it. And it's all everything. When people talk about the mystery, it's all to do with this flywheel and his tripod and this little box that's on the top of the tripod. This is the layout. It's probably astrological. I don't know. It's probably, you would think that's got some significance, but who knows? And that's where he lived. So he just lived in this little room up the top here. And that was his little workshop. And the rest of his block was just, the garden, the coral castle. And of course, no one, he wouldn't ever let anyone watch him work. So this is, of course, why there's another reason there's a big mystery around it. And there you go. You will be seeing unusual accomplishment. So he wasn't into grammar that much.
Well, it actually has been decoded. I've seen by a couple people that it's all a word code or not anagrams, ciphers. It's his misspelling is all a cipher.
So this. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. I wonder what it says. I wonder what he's trying to tell us.
It has to do with decoding his books. And code144.com, this website, they have cracked the code big time.
Well, there we go. Maybe let's have a look. These are all magnets around the outside, as you can see. Opposite poles. So he was definitely working with magnetic fields, because between every one of these, these are opposite fields, and you'd have a vesica Pisces, right, in between each one of these. You'd have to. As you can see, there's all the magnets stacked up, and he just made this off using a car flywheel and, I don't know, magnets and bits. And there's all the tools that he used to build it.
It's either 24 or 16 U-shaped magnets. And yeah, look at that big coil there. That looks like a piece of potential.
I counted them at 24.
Yeah, 24.
Oh, well, no, it'd be 12. 24 points there is. 12 of each. So it'd be 12 U. So the U magnets, are they? Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, you got it.
Look at this, is all coils and stuff. See, these are all coils. So why is that there if everyone's saying no, he was just literally, because mainstream says he was just cutting the blocks and then using, pulleys and cranks and stuff to move them, even though that doesn't really make sense. But yeah, this is his rusty tool collection. So he didn't, it wasn't very high tech. Again, all the electrical components. And that is the end of our little picture show. So there we go.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to get some of Charlie's pictures up, unless you got some more. I need to do something.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Might just tighten the screw.
I guess I should probably finish downloading them all.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Bernie. Okay, well, let me see if I can. I had a video, but I'll just check if it's going to destroy our, get us banned.
No banning.
Oh God, I watched too many videos. Where is it?
Oh, you got to remember.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever think, oh yeah, I just watched that video, and you go to find it in history, and you've watched about another 50 videos since. It's like, what? How did I do that? We got.
Do you love Gantt charts?
Oops. I don't know. Maybe I can play it and.
Here's how easy.
Like on
just
silent,
freeze it. Or on silent.
I believe
All right,
it's.
we'll see how we
like-
go.
Yeah, I'll let you play first, and then I'll get to.
It should be right because it's old footage, so they can't own the copyright to it. So we'll see how we go. All right, this be Coral Castle back in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
Using but the most primitive of tools, he handles huge 15-ton pieces of coral rock with the greatest of ease. This is his life work, building a great stone city that he hopes will stand for thousands of years. He works as the ancient Egyptians did when they built the pyramids. The 4-ton rock that serves as an entrance gate is so nicely balanced, a slight push will move it. But that's only the first of many wonders to be found in this strange place. Many and varied are the huge pieces, and one of the most striking works is a huge table carved in the shape of the Florida Peninsula. Here's further example of how he's balanced these great carvings. There's comfort in these rockers, too. Love was love even in the Stone Age, and we have a different version of a merry-go-round. Junior would sleep like a lamb in this 5-ton crib. This project may smack of the Stone Age, but it has all modern conveniences. Maybe there's no running water, but Mr. Lade's cannon has built-in basins for modern comfort too. And what's more, a bathtub, oh boy. She's sitting on top of the world or something, just where this unusual artist hopes to be when he completes his most ambitious of hobbies.
And there we go. Oh, and Bernie's gone as well. How did we all enjoy that? That was... Oh, what did I miss? Oh, Redcap Goblin is a new member. Oh, thank you for joining. I'm guessing that's BurnEye's channel. So there you go, BurnEye. You got a new member. All right. Well, oh, there it is there. Woohoo. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I'm so far.
That was
there you
short.
go, Bernie. Look at that. You got a new member, dude. Oh, Sherrick Ives. Hello, how are you today? You feel like a peeping? I know, right? It's a bit rude watching people have a bath. Gosh. Don't you love the voice? What happened to people's voices in the 50s? And there they are, sitting in a bath. Oh my God, it's so cool. I'm talking
Right?
like I'm from the 50s.
The
what happened to
50s
voices?
announcers. Was almost robot-like.
Yeah.
And thank you, Redcap,
Yeah.
for becoming a member. That means that YouTube has reapproved my monetization. Thank goodness. BurnEye,
Oh,
the small
well, there you
channel,
go.
is monetized again. They did reject Crypto Alchemist. Of course, the channel with the same content, but 5 times the subscribers. They just, no.
You might make money off that, Bernie. And yes, they did move the entire location. Well, he did. Apparently, one man moved it on a truck. He didn't carry them, but apparently he loaded everything himself.
And insisted upon it.
Yeah, man. AVC, exactly. I think when you talk like that too, don't you have to put your hand over your ear? Hello, and welcome to the newscast of 1956. Thank you for joining us. Is that right? Works much better.
Activate that
I don't know
old
why.
earpiece, I guess, or something.
You do.
Strange.
All right, have we got here? Odin's Raven, hello. All right, have we got these pictures downloaded yet, Mr. Bernie?
Well, first, actually, I'm going to play or show Vinny St. Vincent channel here. Roy is
Oh,
the creator's name, and I'm gonna have him on a future episode here in the next couple weeks of oh dear, wrong button. My Year of the Coil series, and Roy has been experimenting and building Ed Leedskallen's, replicating a lot of his work
Yes.
over the years, and even some aspects gone further by connecting some of Nikola Tesla's devices and experiments with what he's built of Ed Leedskallen's flywheels, Mobius coils.
Has there been any research into his Ed Leedskallen and the 369? Is there any correlation there? Do we know? What is the 369, BurnEye alignedness? What's the secret to the universe?
That is vortex-based mathematics, 3-phase electricity and induction vortex coils that are...
So is the 6 the ether? No, the 9 would have to be the ether, clearly.
9, I would
because
believe,
it's the God number, right? Yeah. And so that's to do with, if you, what is with the third winding, because basically this all comes off Marco Rodin, who did the vortex maths, because he was trying to find the true name of God, and he came up with vortex-based mathematics, and he's the first person, as far as I know, to put a third winding on a coil. And when you do that, basically he says that the energy source is the ether, right? And they just start doing weird things. Correct.
And then the second half was Randy Powell, I think.
Randy
that took
Powell.
His,
yeah, Randy Powell.
He based off of Rodin's work, created the coils, and then named them after him.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Did Randy Powell? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I did not know that. I thought he was just sort of promoting the info, but well, there you go.
Yeah, he was
he disappeared. Whatever happened to Randy Powell? He sort of
he's sort of came out with
all this stuff, and then he did a few videos. He's still around. Okay, cool.
I saw.
And what are we looking at here, Bernie? We're looking at the.
So that's the flywheel going, Ed Leedskallen's flywheel that he's reconstructed and then connected with these different coils, induction coils, to pull out current from the spinning magnetic fields. And since it's ring magnets alternating, that would be making AC, not DC, between when it's connecting in, and then it's charging to the ground, which is pretty good. And then he's going to show here with this plate, when he lowers it close to the sawdust, it creates a massive magnetic field, static electro field, and levitates it. Yeah, lots of plasma arcing too. So that's why you ground these devices, as that's where you get an extra third source of opening the circuit and bringing radiant energy in.
I've never. Have you heard of Ed talking about UFOs? I've never heard of him mention that. He definitely mentioned ancient tech and the tech of the ancients and the Egyptians and stuff, but I don't think he ever got into the UFO stuff. I don't think ancient aliens built it, if that's what you're asking. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Giorgio Koutsoulis. Is that what his name was?
Sorry?
Is that his name? Giorgio Koutsoulis? The dude with the hair? Everything was ancient aliens.
Oh,
come on. You missed those years of memes.
I know who you're talking about, but I couldn't tell you. It's aliens, man.
Yeah, he was aliens, man. It's all aliens. It's all aliens. There you go. Anonymity, Travis.
Now it
Yes,
starts
mountain cat. Yes, apparently two young boys saw him levitating rocks and moving them. This is Ed Leeds Callan, and they said he was holding ice cream cones, but of course, doesn't mean it means that that was something shaped like cones, right? Most probably, or a banana peel and half a can of soda pop. I don't know what that means.
This one's pretty
Link to the video.
Oh,
hang on.
I can definitely do that.
I'll grab it.
How the sawdust like structures with the currents going, it's pretty fascinating to me because it's taking similar shapes. And I guess I got Bert and Ernie blocking the way behind in front of the jars, can't show, but the self-organization off of the anode and cathode and the electrolysis is very similar. I guess how electricity builds as it's moving.
All right.
All right, enough of that there. We got...
And I'm just posting the link to that video in the description. And I also need to say that that video was sent to me. And also the video, the TikToks that we saw at the start were sent to me by Paula. So thank you, Paula, who sent them on Facebook. Much appreciated. So there we go. So how's your downloading going there, Mr.
Very good.
BurnEye? Oh, you're growing a little bit of a goatee there. We're going to changing the facial hair, are we? Getting a pointy chin.
Yeah.
Going the pharaoh look. You're just trying to make me jealous because you can actually grow a bit of hair.
Well, you got to stay warm in this weather. Here in Canada, right? Like,
yeah, man. I mean, you guys are crazy. You should do the birds fly away when it's cold, I'm guessing. That's what you should do.
Half of them, but half of them stay too. That's what it's like in Calgary, Alberta right now. Frankie, New West Reset posted this about, I think, an hour ago, just before we started.
Which birds stay? Which birds stay?
Crows, I think. Magpies definitely do. Sparrows.
Do you have
chickadees
magpies?
stay. Oh yeah, we've got.
Do you have magpies? Do they do the funny? Are they proper magpies though? Do they do the funny wobble sort of call?
No. Oh.
Black and white magpies. There must be.
I will upload. I'll take a video.
Do they dive bomb you in springtime? Do they dive bomb people in springtime?
Sometimes.
No. Oh,
they also become really tame with other
Aussie magpies
and
would take them out, man. See, they sound like weak magpies, and it's because of all
sorry,
the
not
cold,
magpies.
Man.
Magpies are aggressive and shitty. Crows are very nice. Crows are cool animals, and ravens.
Crows are awesome, man. Crows used to. They don't so much anymore. They used to follow me everywhere, bloody crows. I used to always have crows flying around. Bizarre. And this is, of course, New West Reset.
Indeed. Posting the link right now.
Did you just put the link in? Was that you? Oh, you're about to do it. Cool. And as you can see, this video is made by a hand. I think it's the hand from the Addams family. Was that it? Yeah, it. This video brought to you by it. There he is.
Frank Fingers at New West Resets. Link down in the live chat.
Yes, New West Reset. His hand ran off and made a video on its own. Didn't want to wait for the rest of the body. Have we got any volume on this? Because I can't hear anything. You're not going to do us for copyright, are you?
It's because it's on my TV. It's on the second screen.
Reset.
Indeed. Sorry.
There we go.
I opened it off of the.
Actually, Lorenzo was telling me that he used to live in Canada, obviously, or is it Canada? We're not sure. Apparently, it could be Canada, or so Kamala Harris says. But yeah, he used to live on the Sunshine Coast, and he said it snowed and it was freezing for 9 months of the year, but it was called the Sunshine Coast.
Off of British Columbia.
Pull your game up, Canada.
Yeah.
All right, we're safe. All right. As long as Ed Leedskallen doesn't come back from the dead and get us, we'll be good.
Well, prefer his help, you know?
New Zealand. So we've got these pictures to look at yet. Let the sunshine. Let the sunshine in, Bernie. That's good advice, Brandy.
Indeed. This is, I believe, inside.
Connections. Keep on meeting each other. Sorry.
The main building at Coral Castle there. And chains.
So this is the workshop?
Yes, sir. That's the upstairs
and
top.
His little house up there. Geez, not big, is it?
I believe
the first tiny house. See, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's the top story where he lived. So, like, Ed Leedskallen also invented tiny house living, by the looks of it. The first tiny home.
Very nice.
Though it wasn't tiny home with huge walls.
It was a tiny home apartment, though, because he had the workshop.
Yes, it was. It was. It was a very glamorous tiny home. A tutu tiny home. No, that makes it sound like it should be wearing a dancing skirt. The most frequent question overheard here is, how did one man without assistance construct the Coral Castle? They got the answer, though. The answer is with an uncanny knowledge of the laws of leverage and balance. Because, just as a side hint, Ed Leedskallen had a 4th grade education, only went to year 4 in school, wasn't educated, was an immigrant to America. He did teach himself to speak English, as far as I know, so he wasn't stupid. But as far as an education in the laws of leverage, balance, engineering, and sculpture, I'm not sure where he acquired those. And also he used a block and tackle and metal tools. So there you go, rollers, jacks, wedges, slings, cables, sledges, and chisels. And above all, infinite patience and a tremendous imagination. So there you go, guys. With an imagination, you can do anything.
Indeed. That's the key.
Today it's a priceless work of art. And there you go. He lived on the 2nd floor of this building in a very Spartan fashion. Oh, really? Does that mean he wore leather skirts and held a spear?
Apparently.
Had no electricity or running water. He spent time in later years in the study of magnetism, astronomy, and radio, and was often seen in the Homestead Public Library. There you go.
Radio, astronomy, and magnetism, yet had no electricity or running water.
I know, right? And he was studying electricity. What the hell? And magnetism, right? What? And he died when he was 64. Doom, doom. Sorry, had to do that. Yeah, right. All in the dark, apparently, studying and radio, right? Yeah, exactly. How is he studying radio without electricity? What did he just have, like some massive crystal set or something? Who knows, right?
Been open to the public since 1953.
And apparently he slept in a handmade hammock. Thank you, Kimberly. So he was a very odd little man, as they say, but obviously had some very interesting knowledge, which he, again, where was he acquiring it? Did he, You know, Latvia, you know, it's an old, definitely an old, well, actually, with what we know now, it's probably not an old world country, but there'd be a lot of old books. Maybe he got some old books from there. Who knows? But he was definitely working with information that no one else was working with.
Very interesting stuff.
So what are they? They're like what are they? I don't even know.
These
God,
are
like they're different
missing
layers of metals, right?
Yeah, these are missing.
And then they like you put an electrolysis. That's what they use to make hydrogen, isn't it? With the correct setup, you put that in with electricity and you make hydrogen.
You got it.
Okay. What are they called? Do they have a name? Stacks of metal?
They definitely do.
I need to get a thing on my wall with all the names of these electrical components, man.
Yeah, little THC, short-term memory loss. So the term will come to me.
You can see they're all very simple, all handmade just from bits and pieces. I mean, look at these coils, man. They're beer bottles with bloody secondhand wire wrapped around them.
And
not even wrapped tightly or well. I wonder if the spacing, look, why are they not wrapped tightly? Is the spacing something to do with...
Well,
like, look, every single one
the
has
wire
got spacing.
probably is getting looser, probably. Those are pretty good solid.
I mean, on the bottles, yeah, but that looks, yeah, see how, and then see the ones down to the left? There's a couple more, and they're the same. They've got gaps between the windings. Are they windings?
No, they're missing their windings. That's what I'm saying. These are transformers that are just missing their windings, but they have the positive negatives on them. Oh, that one's got some of it on it.
And what is that? Is that some kind of spark plug?
Yeah.
Is that a spark plug that he's built?
Could well be, and battery stuff.
Like it, doesn't it? It's got a spark in it. Yeah. So he knew what he was. So the story may be that he wasn't connected up to the electric grid.
So the bottles here with the solenoids around them, that's actually how you make plasma. As soon as you got current going through that, if that's sealed, like with gas in it, like that's exactly, those would light up instantly. And
so they could be lights. Okay.
Absolutely. But also transmutation fields happening around it. It's quite fascinating. Actually, on Leak Project.
Wow, like that video we just saw.
Actually, I should bring that up.
Like opening portals.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah. The EVOs. It's exotic vacuum objects.
Transformers. Are they transformers? Are they more than meets the eye?
100%.
I don't think they are. Are they? There's another name for them. Yeah. They are cool. Koi. I think he means cool.
Definitely that.
Imagine if the real tools he used to move that tonnage was... Yeah, well, exactly right. Look what happened to, what we're told happened to Tesla, right? As soon as he died, they went and took everything. So, if he did, especially if he had books, and notes on all his stuff, yeah, that could have all just been stolen. Oh, you and me, Brandy. What's written in the picture? I missed it.
Which is showing
yes,
noble gases.
Focus on the picture in the photo, please. Okay. Bernie's driving, so we'll have to go back after this, Bernie. And focus on the picture in the photo. I didn't see the picture in the photo.
Sorry, yeah, I will go back to the pictures immediately. I was just...
Go back in a minute.
You'll put some current into this, and
yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, Travis, it is on a ley line. He built it first in one spot, and he didn't like the energy, so he moved the whole thing. So it's now sitting on a ley line, as far as we know. And this is Plasma in a jar.
Indeed. Just a little
So this is
demonstration.
the same concept that Ed may have been doing.
Exactly.
So that winding of wire would just be to get a charge into the bottle and then the gases that are. So has that got like gas in there? Is that like neon gas or something?
Yeah, you have to have a couple of. It's a mixture of like argon, neon, or krypton, or the different noble gases, and you get different colors and different.
And that's with electricity. Wow.
Indeed.
So, is this one of your friends?
I spoke to him briefly. He's on Leak Project, friends with.
Is he
one of the guys?
Okay. He's not the guy that's been on a couple of streams with us. That smart dude.
Not
that guy.
A different smart dude.
I was just wondering if anyone's done.
No, not Jeremiah.
Instead of
Jeremiah
using electricity,
Jeremiah has shown similar.
Yeah, he was a bullfrog.
On one for me.
Jeremiah is a bullfrog. Never understood a single thing he said because he had such a bloody brilliant mind. There you go. Be good to test this with frequency, right? Sound frequency, like we saw in that Tictoc, rather than electricity, and see if it activates the gas. Yeah. Now I want to sing that song. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but he had a quite brilliant mind. And we always had a mighty fine time. Sing it. Go, Bernie.
Like I said, I suffer short-term memory loss.
Oh, the boys are good.
The THC.
God, leave me on my own. Hang there. Leave me hanging. I am not going karaokeing with you, dude.
Yeah, no, Amber is my better half.
Leave me standing there.
Well, you want karaoke?
Get her in here. Come and sing, Amber. You got to be a backup singer.
She's at her dad, visiting her dad right now. But you mentioned the frequency, so testing, and it's like I got the new coils and the Rife device here, so that we will be experimenting with some frequencies and some
they're the Rife coils.
Yes.
Nice.
Indeed, yeah.
And a big shout out and thank you to everyone who helped Bernie get these in, because he got them sent to him, and then the bloody Trudeau and his government haunches wanted a couple of $100 to give it to him.
400, it was ridiculous.
But at least it was Canadian, so it only equaled 30 cents. Oh my God.
Indeed.
But they look very nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with
and so that's a frequency generator?
Yes, sir.
In the middle, frequency generator, is it?
You got it.
Cool. And this, of course, handmade by the what is it? The great nephew of Royal William Rife.
Yep. Yeah, Matthew
Rife. Who's now
exactly
starting up Rife Technologies.
Indeed.
So this is all the new stuff, the new tech that for the new world. Of course, you know, the new world order. They want to push their bloody their crappy bloody virtual stuff and their smart cities and their 15-minute cities. But this is the real stuff that's going on in the background. They don't want you to know about. It's like I've said a lot of times. We already have all the answers. You just got to get rid of those people who stop us using them.
Indeed.
We need to focus on going forward.
Right? So it's like then the next step will be getting some gases in some bottles and jars, and also the plasma or the monoatomics in some jars, and we will be doing all sorts of experiments like this. And that is most likely what we had Ed Leeds Gallon doing with these jars and coils and connections and solenoids and magical different flywheels and magnetic.
And so one of the theories is that these cones, whatever they were that he was using, were changing, and it says he was studying magnetics, but the theory is that it was changing the magnetic frequency of the sandstone so that it would repel. So I'm not sure, what's ground? Is it negative? I think the ground is negative charge. So you just turn the stone into a negative charge as well, and it's like pushing two negative ends of a magnet together, right? They repel each other. So basically levitation. So I'm not sure how practical that is, but that's definitely a theory that's been put out there.
It's actually a thing, and I'm gonna try to find the video of Vinny St. Vincent, the video I was showing earlier. I've got a couple more of them that remade the flywheel. And here's a top overhand view map of Coral Castle, picture taken by Charlie C. Shout out, Charlie.
Remember, we're supposed to go back and look at that photo that had a photo in it?
Yes.
Something, apparently.
Or someone found something.
There's a blowhorn.
We will.
Sound. Oh, sound frequency.
Yeah. And right in the center, that shape, that centerpiece, I guess. Blowhorn centerpiece. That's
a cool house, man. I want to live in a house like that. I want to live in a mini castle.
Right?
Maybe. I wonder if can you use sandstone as a battery? Maybe the whole place was a battery. Battery. Go back to the tools.
Sorry, these downloaded and we'll be going through, and then we will get back to the tools. We're working back to them.
We've got to go in a circle. There's a sink, basin.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how did he get, because a lot of these rocks,
I think that on a full moon, it reflects on this at
so it's for astronomy. It's a mirror.
Indeed.
That's why it has no drain hole. I was just going to say, where's the drain hole? But and that's why a lot of the ancient, shall we say, people in the past, they used ponds and things as mirrors to study the stars. And we think, how do they have all these telescopes and that? But they were just looking at ponds. But with things like that, how did you get the top piece up there? He's had to lift them pretty high, and all we ever see is that little tripod. It's not that tall, and it's not very solid. So that little tripod, I don't think could lift any of those blocks. It'd just collapse.
And that he originally cut all of
these are some of
when he built it.
It is coral sandstone, so it's not a hard stone.
It's coral limestone. All coral limestone.
So it's not super hard. You could probably cut it with a saw, but
pretty soft.
But still, it's
probably a 3 or 4 on the most
precision
hard
edges. Yeah, okay, so it's up there, okay.
And then there's this monolith that's also for astrological calendar and alignments.
Looks like the sun or something or the moon would be shining through there on a certain date.
Probably both.
Very Indiana Jones.
Throughout.
Probably both. And so I wonder if it's been studied like that, from an astrological point of view. Probably not, even though everyone says, he was studying the stars, but let's not see what he was doing.
All right, back to some of the tools.
So there you go. He wasn't such a great carpenter. Not so good at making shelves, but good at making castles. I'll shut up, you talk.
I still have
there
to
we go.
download a couple more. So let's look at this beautiful thing. Oh, look, see. Oh, sorry. More bottles
is that the
over
picture
here
that they
with the
meant?
wires as well.
Nice. And hanging like a light.
What are these
Is that the one
things?
down there? See that picture?
Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, the picture.
Down the bottom there? Yeah, can we
there's
can we zoom in? What does that say?
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay, there's the tripod.
Yeah.
That apparently lifted all these blocks.
Indeed.
So it's basically, I think it's just saying this is a tripod Ed used to build this. Case closed. So let's see. Actually, I'm curious now.
Is that legible?
Oh, this is interesting. It says here that Coral Castle's blah, blah, blah. Edward Scallon was 26 when his 16-year-old fiance left him. He left for the United States and he came down allegedly with terminal tuberculosis, but spontaneously healed, stating that magnets had, well, they say had some effect on his disease. So basically he said magnets cured me. So that's interesting. And then he spent more than 28 years building Coral Castle, refusing to allow anyone to view him while he worked. A few teenagers claimed to have witnessed his work, reporting that he had caused the blocks of coral to move like hydrogen balloons. The only advanced tool that Lead Scallon spoke of was a perpetual motion holder. So there you go.
All right, so back to...
So you knew about magnets and healing and health. I mean, and obviously TB is a blood disease. So magnets, can, definitely have an effect on our magnetic field, you would think. So, yeah. We're looking at sound healing at the moment, but yeah, I mean, magnetic healing. I haven't really heard of magnetic healing. I'm sure it exists.
And there's a magnetic field being charged by Roy's coils here. Causes this the Lead Scallon but what's creating sound wave, magnetic wheel creating sound wave out of this. Ed's bottles, he calls it. And if I unmute it, he's talking about how he's changing.
That's a double coil.
Yes.
Figure 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Mobius coil. There we go. I found Mobius coil is what it is called. And
wow, does that get you out of the matrix? Oh, that's Morpheus.
Is Morpheus
what's the function of that? What does a Mobius coil do that a single coil doesn't do?
So the Mobius is your spiral, your infinity, your, as Nancy Hutchinson likes to say, Mobius coil is consciousness touching itself, going back and you're experiencing yourself, you're completing the loop back.
Okay.
Energy loop.
And so it creates two fields as well? Does it create two fields?
Yes, absolutely it would be.
It would have to, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So it creates my favorite shape as well, the Vesica Pisces. Rears up again.
I guess that's alternating
and of course, the Vesica. And that's when you get that working. That's when you can access free energy, but you can access stuff from the ether, right? That's when you got these two fields going. Is when we tend to
in here he's talking about how, depending on what you pulse it with, the magnet spins different directions or something.
Oh, okay. Pulsing it with electricity, right? Different frequencies of
Different
electricity, not sound.
signals. Both, because in this he's talking the magnetic field
Oh,
creating
okay.
sound waves. And this is magnetic fields creating and oops. Okay, right. Before I play another video, I'm going to open up my Twitter, which we are also live on Twitters, both your Twitter and mine, because I forgot that Google
Right
and
now,
YouTube makes us watch stupid commercials, where Twitter will let us watch YouTube videos without commercials.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is a
good question. I would say that
Elon
he's
Musk.
learned this tech from somewhere. Oh God, Elon Musk. It must be. Is it one of those scam ads? Those scam ads are just getting insane, man.
They all use Elon Musk for their scams, but in reality, he bought Twitter, and by buying Twitter, he somehow made them edit the commercials out of YouTube.
Actually, I just got sent these today too. God, can you see them on my arm?
Sorry,
They're just basically like Tesla. What are they called? Tesseract or something? Windings of copper. Someone sent me for my arm. Well, my arm's full of them, and this is magnetic, and not that you can see any of it. I've got magnets all up my arm, basically.
Nice.
A few on this side as well. A bit of copper. Why not?
Absolutely.
Maybe I need to wear anklets. Maybe anklets like complete the circuit.
Yeah,
see the old people, they always have like anklets all over.
Yeah,
got to ground out, man. Get it down to the soul if you want to heal.
Yeah, exactly, you got it.
Someone needs to make me some.
The soul to the heel to the ground. You have to ground.
If anyone is watching who makes this kind of stuff, I could do with a couple of magnetic anklets, magnetic copper anklets. You'll find. Send them straight to my PO box. Thank you. Clean my camera. Is it very? You're turning green. Oh my God! Really? It's not me. It's CNN, man. They're trying to make me look sick. It's like they did to Joe Rogan. You know, once you get famous, man, they just start hacking on you. I tell you. Me and Joe, man, we get just everyone attacking us. But yes, I shall clean my camera, and I need to get a new camera. This one is doing funny things, and it zooms in and out, and
right.
And I think
never fun.
That is. It's Microsoft, so definitely to get rid of it. It's Microsoft. I need some unbilified stuff.
Dutch Since.
I saw. Is this? Yeah, is this his one from yesterday? I saw that, but I haven't watched it yet. Massive Starfort pound, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's excellent.
That one? I'm just going to get.
This is just earthquake.
I'm just going to get a coffee.
Always covering what is happening in Europe. Well, there with Italy, aftershock, but another major one that was in Turkey earlier. I do believe, and the Starfort one that Campbell is talking about right here, and this is what we want to see.
St.
We'll
Louis
be talking about
history
with Dutch
or even Native American
next
history
in about a week or so.
We need to get some people on top of what I've found. What I found is indisputable, I feel, and I'll ask you guys by the end of this broadcast how you feel as well. You can weigh in the chat room when we're done here, and you can tell me how you think. But Well, to show you what I found, this is huge. First, before I show you exactly what I to preface it all with a few things. So let's get a display capture turned on. Again, I'm recording now. So this all goes back to this map that I found from 1796 of St. Louis, Missouri. And it's a French map, and it has north oriented this way. So you can see which way north is. This is the St. Louis riverfront, and this is the old St. Louis riverfront, again, 1796. Now what they have, it says Premier Project there and Second Project there. These are proposed sites for new forts up here on the plateau above St. Louis, and St. Louis at the riverfront, of course, right here. And then it comes up to the old city, and then they have it going up against it. This has all been scraped out and leveled. Well, not leveled. It's been flattened and made into a nice rise. They got rid of this lake. Over here, we have the River de Pere, and that flows down. That's still there. The River de Pere is, and you can see the old Star Fort structures they have built there. But what I want to draw your eye to is this here on the north side of St. Louis. And we're going to zoom in on it here just to show you what we're talking about. Make sure you can see it, because this right here is what looks like a bastion fort, but this is water around here. And you can tell it's water. They have bridges going across it, and this is a waterfall. You can see down the plateau, and if you're from St. Louis, you know what I'm talking about.
I have
mean,
utmost respect for Dutch, and his work
anyway,
has literally saved
and
countless
it flows down
lives.
into the Mississippi River.
Next
All right,
level.
why does this
like,
matter?
It's
This spot here,
smack
I
in
can
the
show
face,
you on
mind-boggling.
Google Earth. Let's get St. Louis.
Why they attack him when, in fact, it's like his discoveries and the cycle, earthquake cycle, seismic cycle that he's figured out in the forecasting he does, and it's just dedicated videos and forecasting, and putting himself out there, and it actually countless times like being accurate, coming true, and just the message that he gives, and he literally saved countless lives, and all the respect in the world for Dutch. But he also
here.
not a
Let's get us
Star
back
Forts.
north and
Governor
turn
on
on
a
borders
macro
and
size.
labels just so everybody can see where we're talking about here in Missouri, in St. Louis area. Okay, now this is all a preface to what I discovered that's just phenomenal. And if you're into archaeology, American history, Native American history, if you're in academia, your mind's going to be blown by what I found. I'm serious. I'm not joking. There's no exaggeration. So let's zoom in and show you. All right. So first of all, to preface it all, what I just showed you here on the map here with the waterfall that goes down. Now, this is a moat or something. It looks like, again, this is like water flowing out of this place and flows down to the Mississippi. There's no doubt about it. It's flowing downhill from up here to down here. But I want to show you what's there currently. Here's St. Louis. And up here on the north side, they have the streets laid out in the shape of the old fort. And what's this in the middle? This is the new geospatial mapping agency that the U.S. government's building for LiDAR mapping and mapping of stuff like
Much
that.
love.
Now, to seal the deal that this is what we're talking about. Right up here at the tip of this fort is this. The old St. Louis water tower. There's actually two of them. There's that one, and then there's another one right, I don't know. It's like right here somewhere. Anyway, the two St. Louis water towers, X marks the spot, geospatial agency in the middle, and this is it. This is downtown St. Louis, by the way. And this thing's huge. And that's this, and it's pointing in the same direction. Again, we can turn Google to make it
Me too, sister.
in the same direction that they have that map, and you'll see it is a match. Again, we're talking about this thing, and it flows out from there and down to the river. Now, guess what they have down here? Guess what is right over here? The water treatment facility for sewage. They take the water in up here. They treat it down here. They started doing sewage where this thing flows out on this fresh water, obviously flowing out of this, flowing down back in 1796. All right. Now, I had to show that to you. show you that they're doing the geospatial agency in the middle of it. Confirmed. There is no doubt about that this spot matches with this spot in St. Louis. Let me turn it proper again. And they got an X in the middle of it, so to let you know somebody. There's school right at the tip of there, and then the water tower is right at the very tip of it. Mapping agency in the middle. Streets are laid out in the shape of it. So what did I find? All right, you ready? So take a look at this. And remember this shape. Remember this shape in particular, which is the star fort shape, which we'll reference again in a few minutes, the bastion fort shape and the star around it. And particular this, the two, it almost looks like a snake, right? North side of St. Louis. So I live 50 miles west of St. Louis, over here. See where it says Washington? Let me show you where I live. I've already been doxxed, so everybody already knows that. I live right here at this lake. Okay, they built a dam right there. All right, now, let me show you what I found. You ready to have your mind blown? Let me turn off my borders and labels. I found another one. You have to turn it south to really see it. This is the Missouri River, not the Mississippi. The one here is on the Mississippi, north of St. Louis. The one I just found is here. Let me bring us back due north again. We're looking exactly due south. Here is west. Here's downtown St. Louis, the one I just showed you. And the one I just found here, 1, 2, and it goes in. There it is. Now, I know this for certain is something, for certain, because when we bring it back this way, this is looking like a bastion fort would down onto the river down below. This is all extremely high. These are huge foothills that go up 800 feet above sea level. And down here at the river, we're at 400 feet. These are 400 foot high. This is 1,400 feet across, just this channel. 1,400 feet all the way. This is 8 miles, and it goes uphill. This is all uphill. So this would have been flowing just like this. It would have been flowing out and down. Now, I know that somebody here has to know something because look what's right here in the middle of this. Right here in the middle, there's this pipeline that's going through, and it's a low resolution imagery, but it's water. 100% it's water. It's coming out from the top. Look, we're at the very height of this, and this is where the water, this is Missouri American water, pulling the water out of there, use it, resell it back to the public. Now, how do I know this is the highest point? Well, I can see it on my mouse moving it around, but also this is where they decided to build the microwave tower right at the pinnacle tip. The cell phone tower also built there, and the power lines going directly through the middle of it. That's no coincidence either, by the way. But anyway, this is indisputable the same shape, the same size, a little bit bigger actually. It's pointing in the direction of the river, and it flows down to the river. This is at 800 feet, elevation 800. Then we go over here. We go to 720, 712. We go down here where it's 678. We go down here where it's 635. Go down here where it's 551. Go down here to the river, we're at 486. Flowing out and down. But that would be phenomenal. Now notice weather. It's extremely weathered. This was not built by the French or the Spanish, I don't think. Maybe the old Hopewell Indians had the same idea. Now, there's also something spanning off and going over this way. And it goes over to this triangular shape. So really, it's double pronged. One going, look like an arrow almost. Anyway, this one here is certain. I'm 100% certain on it. It matches with the interior 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided pentagonal shape and the 2 snaking paths, if you want to call that. We have 1, 2, and this is so weathered. Look now on the backside. Look what they're doing. Somebody's quarrying the backside. And at the front tip, we have the microwave tower. And in the middle, right here, coming out of the middle, right along the road, where is it? I just showed it to you, the pipeline right there. Oh, it's right here. So they're pulling the water out of there. Water coming out of the middle. It's in the same shape. It's right next to the other one. Now, finally, let me show you the final point on this that I just discovered doing my previous broadcast that didn't get recorded. We're going to measure from the one in St. Louis over to this one. So here it is. Again, one more time. Boom, boom. 1,400 feet across, 8 miles long, and it goes uphill to a spot where water used to flow. And it actually overlooks the Missouri River. But now we're going to measure from the middle of this, or from the tip of it, where that quarry is. We're going to measure over to the one in St. Louis. Look at this. This is super phenomenal. We're going to go to the middle of where they're building the geospatial agency, or should we go to the X, or should we go to the water tower? Whether we go to any one of them, we'll go to the middle of the geospatial agency, which is definitely in the middle of the old one that's there. Look. Well, first of all, let's measure it in miles. It's basically 40 miles, 39 point something miles to the edge, and then it's 40 miles exactly out to the exactly down to the mile, guys, down to the point. In feet, 211,000 feet, 211,191. In kilometers, 64 kilometers, but in miles, it's exactly 40 from the edge of one to the middle of the other. And if we go from the middle of the one to the middle of the other, we're at 39. And notice it's almost perfectly due west. Now, I don't know if there's any more of these further to the west. If we were to go another 40 miles linear to the west, would we find another one? Let's go find out. But all I would like to say about this, no, there's not another one 40 miles to the west unless I'm missing it somehow. So when I see something like this, and it's indisputable, it's in the same shape as something from the map from 1796 in North St. Louis, and it's over here on the Missouri River that's far out of the distance of whatever this map shows. Again, we're far over to the west than another, I want to say, you go way beyond. We'd have to go 2 or 3 of these maps over to the west to get to this. Now, why is this significant? Well, first of all, it's huge. Second of all, it's advanced in many ways that the water would be flowing in a certain direction, going down, like I just showed you, going from a height of 800 feet down to 600, down to 500, down to 400, down to the river. Pure water flowing out, going down to the river. Power companies built something directly across the middle of it. There's a microwave tower on it and a quarry on the backside. That to me says somebody somewhere knows something. Maybe, maybe not, but certainly archaeological now. Okay, let's just say you think the French and Spanish built these somehow. 1,400 feet across, 8 miles long, and they somehow were sailing boats down the river, but not up it, because obviously going up 400 feet is going to be pretty hard, right? But let's just say that they did that. Well, there should be French and Spanish artifacts there. Now get this. Guess what this place is called? Let's turn on our borders and labels. Femme Osage. La Femme Osage. Now, I know something weird is going on with this location in particular, because right here on the east side of the backside, see where it says Defiance, Hamburg, and Weldon Spring? This was the Manhattan Project site, starting right around World War II, going up to the 1970s. Mallinckrodt and other corporations running the ordnance generation out here for the uranium for the Manhattan Project. And they actually have it all lumped together here in a huge storage pile and an army base there as well on the back side of this thing. But this was all huge U.S. government Manhattan Project, nuclear storage on the back side of this, which is a star fort. And this, on the old map from St. Louis, is the same shape. So I'll just tell you, this shape right here is something that we're going to be talking about at length going forward because of other things that we're finding around the world. But I just wanted to bring this to the attention of all the academics here in Missouri, here in the Midwest, online, around the world. Everybody needs to know about this. Cool map. And you can't tell me it's known about because it's just... There's no state site here. There's nothing. It's quarrying on one side. We've got a pipeline pulling water from it, and everybody's ignoring it.
Massive.
Is that where it is?
Well, there it is. Now you can't miss it. Let's turn off all the names.
Like that map you showed, was that for that area where there's nothing there now?
Yeah, he went into the Google Earth showing a similar feature that's almost identical. It was further up off of the original map. Like that area is not included in that original map's size or whatever, but
Because
that
St.
it's
Louis,
like
that's very
50 miles up
interesting.
off of St. Louis, and it's an identical feature. And that he's also shows that right at the top, at the peak, the same point where the St. Louis water tower is, and was like aligned to the St. Louis water tower in the city there in the Star Fort, that in this same identical feature, he zooms in, and right at that same point in that structure, sure enough, there's a giant water pumping pipe, and like they're harnessing all the fresh water spring or something that's right there. So it's pretty fascinating, identical stuff.
Lots of
And
Star Fort in that map. Like, what year was that? That map.
There is no doubt that matches.
Can we see
Can
here?
we see? St. Louis. Let me make it bigger.
I think he said 17 something. 1790s maybe.
Because look at that, it's got a city. There's a city on the foreshore there. Look at that.
Yeah, that's St. Louis.
It's a gridded out city.
So right here, this is the original one he showed that has. Yeah, it's St. Louis has a Star City, and this one is where he zooms in today, shows that same grid pattern in St. Louis, and shows the water tower being at the tip, and how the water right where that water tower is where this moat system went around. And then he shows that there's this same diamond shape, and then zigzag down on the about 100 or 50 miles or 100 miles from St. Louis where he lives. And he found on Google Earth
We've got Rex looking at bloody old maps and Star Force. Everyone's looking at Star Force, man.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. See here, I should have let him zoom in first. So this is in St. Louis today. He goes and shows that there's like the same road layout. And then like right where this water begins and comes out is where the St. Louis water tower is, that one that we've all looked at a few times. And that the water comes down like this. And then he shows the exact same feature in the Missouri River, just like 50 or 100 miles up from here. And right where the water tower is in relation to this diamond shape in St. Louis, there's a water spring giant pipe pumping station harnessing the water at this Missouri one.
It's two different locations.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that shape, when you look at the Dr. Emoto's work, when he freezes the crystals and the symbol for love, it has that shape going around the outside.
Yeah.
Around the outside.
That's
so that's interesting. And so what he's showing basically is that they have built over this old city, and you can still see the traces of it in the new city.
Exactly. And that there's an identical one up the Missouri River up here, like 50 or 100 miles up where he lives. I think it's coming right up here.
Wow.
Who could build something like this?
So yeah, here's
all coming out, man.
Time ago, and why would they need to have these kind of defenses? Again, when we're talking, let's get a line measurement on this so you can see it one more time. That when we're talking from the center here, you can't tell me it's going to be for cannons or something for somebody to look out, because you can't look out like that. You'd have to be in a tower, and this is miles and miles, 6 or 10 miles away from the center of here, and water's flowing out of this thing. They're using it for water. This thing's for water for some reason. Same with the one in St. Louis. And so it's not for cannons. And if it's for water, this is advanced. Extremely advanced. To be flowing out and down like that, in that shape in particular. And it's weathered over time. So weathered that I would say I put it at least many hundreds to maybe a few thousand years old. Maybe maybe a few thousand years old. I don't know the exact time I'd say on this, but I'd say certainly it's older than the French. And when you start looking that the French have this on their map, what if this was already there?
Look at that
They
city, man.
spruced it up or refurbished it. They found it and redid it. What if these are from the Hopewell Indians? And that, again, it's some kind of water facility. Again, there's no doubt about it on this map.
Ancient,
There's a moat
like,
around the facility. They have a pathway going up to it
cataclysm
on land,
leftover
which goes
macro
up through some trees and a little bit of
infrastructure
forest.
of, like,
And I can vouch
the
for this. I
Titans or the
live here in St.
Giants
Louis,
pumping
which is west, but
systems
I'm from
and
St. Louis. That this is certainly a
irrigation
rise from the
systems
riverfront
and
going all
whatnot.
the way back up into here, back up to
I
where
mean,
we
that's
have the
it's
old
clearly a
lake
built-out city with
the lake that was
heck
in a
that
basin
we
up
don't
above that they drained
understand
out down through the river to Paris.
as infrastructure, and it was
So
there when
over here on this side,
there should
this
be
is flowing
nothing
downhill,
there.
and you can
You
see
know,
it.
the
They've
narrative
drawn a
says there should be
waterfall there.
nothing but
They got a bridge
trees.
right above the waterfall,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
it
it's showing
goes
us
down
the
this
waterfall
way.
in this
So it's
map.
starting
Water's
to look
phenomenal, and it looks like also they have a path that
It's
goes over
just
to the east, and we
like
don't see anything over to the
history
east.
is literally flipping as like right now. Like
When I find stuff
thanks
like
to
this, I
the
have
work
to
of
show my
old
audience and
world
tell the
Florida
world,
and
because
making out with
this,
analog, they're showing that it looks like
if
civilization
this gets
started in
missed,
the Americas and went out
farmers might
from
continue
there.
to plow the
And when you
fields.
look at the old
Artifacts
stories
might
of
get
people
lost.
coming down from
People might not
Hyperborea, it kind of
investigate. I can
makes
certainly tell you
sense.
this. I live right here.
It means everything's
They
backwards.
built this dam and flooded this lake right here next to it for some reason as part of a project for the scientists at the Manhattan
Sorry, Rex, I'll
Project
let you
to
speak
come
now.
over and have a resort to stay at. That's the excuse for why they built this place where I live at here. They built this place as a resort for the scientists. Anyway, maybe there was something else there. And I'll tell you this.
Sure
This
seems like it.
has to be investigated. I'm going to go investigate myself. I have metal detectors. I have, they could look maybe a few feet down to the ground.
Oh.
I'd be willing to rent a VLF,
Sorry.
maybe cart or something that we could push around to get VLF measurements down on the ground, see what we can find. There's many things around here that look like what I would call Native American mounds. These are so big. These are hundreds of feet high. There is no way somebody built this in modern time.
There's
Think about it, the
foundations
French or
and
the
stuff
Spanish,
everywhere.
500 feet
across the
high,
realm.
8 miles long,
Right?
1,500
More
feet
pyramids.
wide
These
channels. For
foundation
what?
prior culture of the
Water to flow down. It just
giant or
doesn't make
titan
sense.
culture.
And the weathering on this
This
shows how
decided-
old it is. This is way old.
Mm.
This is way older than a couple hundred years worth of weathering. This is like a couple thousand years worth of weathering. Just my estimation. I could be wrong on that, but on that
my God.
time frame. But the one over here, they have it marked in 1796. The Geospatial Agency. Please, guys, please. If you don't know that what I'm talking about on the shape, I'll trace it out for you. My mouse here one more time. There it is. And we will
Here
turn
we
to
go.
the direction of the map. That
Oh,
map,
yeah.
it just
I
shows.
can see that.
There it is. Okay, and
Yeah, we're going to have to do a few more of these overlay maps, I think, Burn.
maybe
I've tried to set a few up, but it's,
I don't need to actually. That's too.
100%.
it is a little bit hard. But we
Their
can get them
north is
close
more
enough that we can
pointed
then hunt
to
around
the-
and see what's there.
Like
We
that.
should try using that leyline.net or whatnot again
Right.
if they
Makes
fix
it a
it
little
up.
harder.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that makes it hard to see
Yeah,
the
you
streets.
should have a play around on it.
But it comes out
So we can get it working.
and goes up to the pinnacle this way. This is the center of it, so you know what to look for. Comes up, goes back down and around. That is it. That is it.
Me too, Redcap.
Oh my God,
Orientation on their
in the
map for
chat.
the land mass is wrong slightly. The north is probably the most accurate thing on the map. The structures and so forth probably aren't exactly exact, but it's so close. I mean, again, they're pointing in the same direction. We got the water coming out of the one in St. Louis, the one over here over at Femme Osage, which I guess we should just now start calling it Fort Femme Osage. Has the water pipe in it right here along the road where they're taking the water right here.
Nice. Artifacts.
All right. Somebody needs to go investigate this aside from me, and that's why I want my viewers to send this over to any academia in Missouri. That's any Missouri college. That's St. Louis University. That would be Columbia, college over in Columbia, up in Kirksville. Also,
You know, that's
any
something
other
we haven't
college in
tried,
the
isn't
United
it?
States, or across
Petitioning
the Midwest, or across the United States, or across
universities
the
and
world. This
so-called
is 8 miles
experts.
long, 1,500 feet
Right?
wide.
Shout out to
It
Dutch.
would be one of the
on
biggest
Twitter
Making
structures in the
proof
United
that
States,
we
wouldn't
are
you say?
smart.
Old, preserved, undiscovered, and you can't tell
Oh
me it's
my
been
God,
discovered.
they're all
You
earthquakes,
call it a
are
fort,
they?
right?
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. Now, let's go ahead and back this out. I want everybody to see we have actually a live chat going here on Twitch. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are viewers and
yes,
fans,
those are
and
all
you don't
earthquakes
want to
within
disappoint
24
me
hours.
or whatever. You think I'll get mad at you if you don't
Sure.
agree with me or whatever.
Wow.
48, maybe.
If you think that the match, and if you need to see it one more time,
And we are
if you
streaming
think that I'm on to something with the one here in North
on
St.
Twitch,
Louis,
Twitter,
1796,
OdySee,
matching
Facebook, and
the one out
YouTube.
here next to my house, here pointing to the Missouri
Hello
River,
to everyone.
and the one over here in St. Louis pointing towards the Mississippi River, and the geospatial agency inside of this one in the water tower, and this one that we got the quarry and the water in the middle of that one too. Do you think I'm correct?
Of course, Rex
All
Bear,
right.
you're always correct.
That was Dutch sense,
Except
not
when I
Rex
disagree
Bear.
with you.
That was Dutch sense, not.
Oh, was that
Rex.
Dutch?
That's Dutch sense.
I was
good
thinking,
sir.
I was thinking it was Rex. Well, he sounds like Rex. He didn't. sound
They
like-
don't sound like, other than being American, not at all. And one's doing earthquakes, and
Yeah, well, you know how it
doing
is. All Americans sound the same,
fair enough.
you know.
Just like all us weird Canadians.
Just like
All
us
right,
Aussies, mate, we
so-
all sound the same.
One more time, I will be posting the link for. Oh, that's Real Dutch Sense link on Twitter. All right, well, that's also another good way of finding Dutch. What was I gonna do? Yes, this Edleed Scallon. Sorry, got it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's another point. Is Australians don't actually have accents. You know that. It's everyone else that's got the accent.
Right? Exactly.
Just
I
in
know.
case you didn't know.
Like, as a Canadian, I can understand that, eh? It's what it's all about.
Hey,
And,
can you
eh,
understand it? Eh, what it's all about?
That's what it's all about, eh?
Hey,
Eh. And yes, I shout out Mario
hey.
to Brian. Hopefully, I said that right. Dutch and Rex.
Good.
do
Thank you,
spend a lot of-
Mario. I agree.
And thank you for also being a member, Mario,
mate.
and all of the new members on my Backley newly monetized channel. It is greatly appreciated, the support, and this is a good sign that they've let me monetize again. So hopefully, I might get that original $1,400 that you all donated through YouTube. That
Nice.
well, hopefully,
They're holding that.
well, yeah,
And yeah,
'cause
we
they
don't talk about
paused
South Australia. Come on,
monetization.
come on.
It's like it's only Canadian dollars.
Sorry, if
Come
you're
on.
South Australia. I know, right? It's 30 cents in American. God, someone can do that. You must have it in your pocket.
And as you see here, Roy, shout out to our fellow
Oh.
YouTuber Roy. Like the Edleed Scallon, Nikola Tesla, Wilhelm Reich, the cones that he does, and then he makes the coils, I forget the words, but these vortex coils, vortex toroids, I guess. Yeah. Or no, vortex
Pyramid
wow.
coil.
brain fart. It's the geometry that's messing
We'll just
me
call
up.
it a spiral up. It's called a spiral
There
up.
you go.
A prism.
Spiral
Prism?
up is what
No.
it is. It's about
Spiral up.
spiraling
Let's
up.
just go with that.
The cones, the
Um,
conical cones.
And the
Um,
American accents, there's many of them. There's many. I can't do a New Yorker accent. How do they speak? They just speak rudely, don't they? I can kind of do a
swear.
Southern maybe.
just swear.
God, I
and
don't know.
cuss.
Just yeah, New Yorker accent. You fucking mother Southern. something like that. I know, California, hang loose, man. Yeah. Is that good? Southern? What do Southern people say? I'd like some fried chicken. You know, that good stuff, that's finger licking.
I want some fried chicken.
How am
I
I
love
doing?
fried chicken.
Am I good? You see,
Sometimes.
I think I should become a linguist, a bi-accentual linguist.
Ooh.
Ben Kronk.
But it's the gold, it's the cycle. You've golden age, the silver.
Nice. Gold.
Kronk.
Yeah. It's a
Turtle
great year.
standard.
And the turtle.
Indeed.
Nice.
I'm going to
Have
be
you still
doing
got your
some
magic sign up? No, you're in a different room.
shout out.
Oh, electro. Oh, is that for
Sherry
gardening? Is that actually like using? Is that like using copper in the garden?
Well,
Awesome.
electrical currents
so
in the
gonna get into
garden.
that.
And Sherry Ives sent me this.
How
Shout out,
cool.
Sister Sherry. We're going to be doing a couple of full episodes of
Thank
Real
you,
Science
Sherry.
on this electroculture. And there's documentation of the
Nice.
tests of in the 1920s and early 1930s of the U.S. government using electricity in this electroculture.
That's so rude. And it's Dundee. It's not Dundee. Come on.
Crikey.
What is crocodile? That's not a knife. Crikey, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Is that good?
Knifey spoony,
good?
eh? You want to play Australian Canadian knifey spoony, do you?
What was that?
I don't even know.
Was that can Australian?
That was Can Australia you a can. Kelowna can.
UK. Hello, Gov. How you going there? Hey, lovely jubbly. There you go.
All right,
A
eh?
bit of a British accent for you all. All right, eh?
I was
Lovely
trying.
jubbly. Oh.
Sorry,
How
no,
does
keep
Paul speak?
continue.
How does my God?
Uh,
Oh, lordy. Christ alive. Crikey, come on. It's not the dumbest word you could use. What about imbecile?
Who made Crikey famous? Who made Crikey famous?
Crikey. I mean, it was definitely Steve Irwin took it to the world, I think. But I think, was it in Crocodile Dundee?
I mean,
Crikey was just language back
was.
in the 70s and 80s. It was just crikey, mate. And that's the thing with the onslaught of bloody Americanism. We've lost all those like bonza and crikey, and now everyone just thinks it's silly. But that was Australian speak, man. Oh, there you go, Jackie. Do you like my deep dulcet tones? If I put my hand on my ear, do I sound better? Do I sound better? Apparently you do.
Only if you talk like a robot or something.
Oh, that's right. Do I sound better? And welcome to the 6 o'clock news. It is 1956.
Sound like a professional. Actually, pretty good. Ken Brockman. Ken Brockman, nice. Can you take it away, please? From the helicopter. Downtown Sydney.
Yes, we're up here in the helicopter, and we are chasing a balloon. A balloon, that's right. It is big, and it is white, and we think it's from Russia. What's that? Oh, my God. Okay, Biden says shoot it down, boys. Shoot it down. Use a heat seeker to shoot down that balloon, because it's a hot air balloon.
Right?
Is that good?
That was excellent.
Ken Brockman kind of sounds like that, does he?
Uh-oh. Wrong one. Trying to find... Sorry, I'm trying to find the Roy, Vinny St. Vincent there, who's done all of Ed Leeds Scallon's builds. This guy. this guy's videos. In one of them, when he's spinning, he actually has where these two electrostatic plates, but he has one of them off of, I think it's a bottle, and one of his bottle coils, and then one of those plates, and there's like a piece of this limestone levitating underneath of it, where he's literally levitating stone. And I don't understand why he hasn't done more of those recently, because it's a few years old, and I was like, what? You're
Who's
literally levitating limestone. Why aren't you developing this?
What? Okay, so limestone, and that's what Coral Castle's
What
made
Ed
from, right?
used. Exactly, you got it. You got it.
Levitate. So
See,
how's he
also
levitating it? Is he using magnets like reverse
no,
polarity?
it's connected to the big flywheel, and then these oscillator coils added, and then that cylinder, I think it's steel plate or whatever, that the electrostatic plates, and that he has one of those steel electroplatic states lifted above, like, so there's the wheel here, these here, and then it's like up in those bottles, and then there's a plate underneath it, and as he spins this, he puts a piece of the coral there, and it like floats and starts rotating and spinning with it. And
wow, so it's creating some kind of an energy differential or magnetic pocket or something.
Yeah, like there's so many. Oh my goodness!
Creating it off to the side. It must be to do with the coils, the bottles that are wrapped with the coil, because it's creating it not over the. So the flywheel is just the power, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's something else that's creating that.
It's through the ground current, I think.
And see, this is the thing. This was probably, I reckon what happened is Ed found a book that literally showed him this step by step, and he just followed it, and it worked. But now we're not allowed to see those books, so we have to rediscover it. But as you can see, people are working it out.
Indeed. And shout out to Roy.
And this is, of course, why
Vinny St. Vincent, aka Roy, our fellow YouTuber. He always starts out every video as my fellow YouTubers.
Oh, Roy, yes.
And just the insane amount of real science that he's been doing over the years. Like, look at all the different builds and stuff. I gotta show Mike and Jeremiah this stuff. I didn't even know he went into all this. Okay, sounds. Base to levitate. There's just so much good science. Like,
I've got one for you, Shari. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Obviously, they're like, none of this is real, right? It's clearly all like just.
Well, of course. I mean, didn't you read the Wikipedia says that he just did it with chains and pulleys?
Right? How can you argue with that? And the pyramids, they were built with copper chisels and logs.
Of course they were. Yeah. All you need is either God or a god king, like a pharaoh, and enough people and time, and you can build anything. Unfortunately, the Great Pyramid had to be built within 20 years, so the story falls over there. But don't question the mainstream.
So they
supposedly. Well, yeah, suppose. That exactly right. That's based on the fact that it's a tomb for an Egyptian pharaoh, which it's clearly not, because there's a stela at the front where that same Egyptian pharaoh wrote that he just renovated it, that he didn't build it. So there you go.
Right. And the Ark of the Covenant just doesn't magically fit like perfectly into the king's chambers supposed tomb encasement. Sarcophagus, that's what it's called. Sorry, sarcophagus. Yes.
Sarcophagus.
And And
Yes,
to
not to be
finish it
confused with
off,
Sarcasticus. I think
oh, see, I
Sarcasticus was
missed.
an emperor of Rome.
I like that. No idea if that was true, but I want it to be now, so forever it must be. Sarcasticus.
I agree. And that's a good point, LV. Isn't it interesting how prisoners are so talented? Like it's almost like, before they sentence them to prison or as a convict, they're like, okay, have you got good building skills? Yep. Okay. You're a 10th generation. Okay. Off to Australia, you go convict. You are done. But if they're like, man, I can't build anything. I'm just a poor, lonely thief. They're like, oh, well, geez, how are we supposed to get you to build a city in a new country? You can stay on the street, buddy. So it is amazing how talented all these people were.
Oh my God. I am just finishing the downloading now of Charlie's pictures, and there's so much more that we have to finish this episode off with now. Wow.
Yeah, there is. These are pictures all over the place. It is.
Oh wow. Shout out Charlie C, who also has built a trans-dimensional communicator.
What?
The ghost.
She's clearly Canadian. She even wrote A at the end of her message. So clearly, you're clearly a Canadian, Amanda. Loaf of bread story is kind of out the window, eh? Did I read that like a Canadian? I don't even know what the loaf of bread story
Amanda,
is.
No, Amanda, are you kidding me? Amanda is Australian, dude. That's funny. She was making fun of me.
Oh, she's Australian. Amanda, are you? Yeah, you from the Gold Coast.
That's our sister, Amanda B.
What's the bread story?
Oops, sorry. Oop. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. One last time, Vinny's
They built this
channel.
city on rocks. They built this city on rocks that roll, apparently.
Rocks that roll.
I do sound Canadian, eh?
Very Canadian.
Yeah, boof. He's clearly, okay, you're Australian, I'll give it to you. Anyone who calls someone else a buffhead. Yes, no, well, you've changed your picture and your name, you say. It makes it hard for us. We've got all these people and they go and change their handles and we get confusion.
Oh dear.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Queenslanders. Oh, God.
Oh dear, eh? I'm just using my
Queenslanders
bandwidth up right good, eh? So I missed a good 70 pictures of Charlie's of all the big megaliths, big chunks, big cool parts of the castle, eh? So I'm rushing downloading all of them right now while we're still live. So what should take a half a second is telling me we have 12 minutes. Oh, 9 minutes.
Because you're streaming at the same time. Yeah, this is a knife.
How
do you say that in Canadian? Hey, that's not a knife. This is a knife, eh? Is that Canadian Dundee?
Spoony.
Did I do well?
Do knifey spoony, eh?
It's not a knifey.
You got a knifey spoony?
Yes, that is true. Oh, nice. Etherware. Not to be confused with Tupperware. Whatever happened to Tupperware?
I still use Tupperware.
And yeah, this is everyone. So, shout out to everyone in and around Ohio. Hope you're doing well. And yes, I don't know.
Yes.
Detox. I don't know. Get out of there. But then I've heard, there's stuff going off. There's a massive fire in Canada. There's a factory on fire in Texas. There's a factory on fire in Chicago, I think. Yeah.
I heard another factory on fire in Ohio. in
There was
Ohio
definitely, I
too.
saw one
But
in Canada somewhere on fire, and I think it was Texas and Chicago. There were another two,
really,
like plastic, kind of factories that are putting up big chemical plumes. So I mean, I think we all get it at this point, right? We're under attack, man. This is a war, but they're fighting it differently. And come on, militias, man. I've been saying it for a few years. A few good snipers.
not trying to
Leave it at that.
instigate civil or violent uprisings.
We
by
love
the way,
everyone.
but
No, what I'm saying is,
civil
go and hug a
disobedience,
politician today.
like Gandhi. And I actually once met through my mom's put on a dinner and speaking event by one of Gandhi's sons, I believe. Yeah, it was the son I met. That he was like already like 70 or something. It was like 10 years ago. It was pretty awesome. Really good man. They're all very humble people, the Gandhis.
There you go. You would think they would be humble. There you go, yeah.
I will find the pictures.
Who was it? Billy Connolly? Well, I think it was Billy Connolly who said the want to be a politician should exclude you from ever being able to be a politician, which I think is good advice.
Ooh, look at that. That's pretty close. Pretty close between the two, the background and Charlie's picture.
Exactly. Non-compliant. Sorry. Okay, what have we got? A fan. Oh.
The fan? Oh,
there was a fan of Coral Castle there?
Spinning door or something, maybe.
Oh, a bell. A bell.
A bell.
I wonder if the bell had something to do with it.
Oh, it definitely
does. I wonder if this whole thing, I mean, why do you think it was built? Like, do you think it was some kind of circuit? Do you think it actually did something? Like, do you think he powered his house off it maybe? Or do you think, it's just...
Right, like I'm not sure.
It's not like he's an artist or a sculptor. It's more like he's trying to build. That they're like components almost. I mean, a bit of it looks, like fun, like the chairs and that. But I don't know. There's something.
So these for
clearly enigmatic, right? Because people are still going there.
100%, like right on the energy lines. Apparently, he moved it all too. Right after building it, and then. Saying that the energy wasn't right. Shout out Callum, good day. And so this is through two of the big megaliths, the perfect drills through both, and then the alignment of it, right? Like very important astrology.
So they're two separate, rocks. And this is the other thing. It's like this is what they do with the pyramids. They kind of only want to focus on how they put the rocks together. They don't want to talk about how it's got astrological things built into it and pi and all this kind of stuff. And same here. It's like even if he could do it, lining everything up perfectly and getting all the holes done, and that's the harder part.
Yeah. And that, like, it seems like he's got represents like the moon's shapes on it. Oh, look at this massive table in the middle with the rocking table.
So that's the one that's in the shape of Florida. Table. That's in the shape of Florida.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And then this one, apparently,
the mullet of America,
was like the Jupiter, the Saturn cycle, I think, in this one. 1, 2, 6. So Saturn, yeah. The Saturn.
Okay, and it's interesting. It's got those points around the outside. I wonder if that's something to do with him tracking the stars, right?
Yeah, tracking Saturn.
Rotate. They do.
I'm pretty sure it's Saturn. Yeah. That was Saturn that he tracks in this one.
Saturn for that one. Yeah.
He's good.
So there you go. It's some kind of astrological site, clearly.
Big time. And then there's another monolith that also has a hole in it. That's it's a second one. That so maybe one was the sun, one's the moon. That he built these for. Because there's
they're for the holy nights.
The holy nights, the full nights. And I guess, and so here's the Amelina or whatever, how the moon or the sun goes. I think it's the sun. So he tracked each of them, the where they appear on the horizon and the cycles of each of the planets, the moon and the sun. These Amelinas, I think they're called. And yeah, see, so here's the other straight monolith that's at the top. Oh, look at that, the big chair underneath it on that full moon.
Yeah, right.
And
The moon
under all of
throne.
the planets. Oh,
Throne, that's an interesting word, isn't it? Throne.
Throne, right?
Where did you get thrown? Where did you get thrown to?
Portal outlet.
So
right?
I wonder if he was out there at night time. You know, it's like you said, he only worked certain days, which would obviously be correlating to the certain sun and moon cycles, or maybe Saturn, whatever he was tracking. I mean, I wonder if he was out there, yeah, sitting in these chairs at certain days and, you know, getting whatever knowledge. Maybe that's where he got his knowledge. Who knows?
Right? Yeah, downloading.
It's just that it just looks
just amazing.
But I mean, yeah, I think there's definitely questions about, you know, if a 5 foot 45 kilo dude with a 4th grade education and basic tools, no electricity, could build this.
Right?
You know, and they say 23 years. Yeah, and they say 23 or 26 years, but that's not true, because we know that he moved it for starters, and it was done when he, and then it was open. So I'm not sure what the build time was, but I think it was probably a couple of years, and then it was open, and he lived in it for the other, whatever, 26 years, right? So he built it pretty quick as well. It's not, because they try and slip that in the story, right? You know, he was there 26 years, so he had time. But when you look back at the oldest photos, it was complete. And then he moved it.
Yeah.
It was a moving story.
And then this was down too, right? He had to build, like, is it a cave or an underground structure that these stairs went down? Look at that, like that. Oh, it swiveled on a thing, but still, how, like,
oh, what?
It's just huge.
Oh.
How the frick did you move that with no electricity?
How do you get it up there? What did that used to spin? It looks like they've come along at some point and mortared it. See, mortared the joints in.
Yeah.
At the edge. Did it used to spin? I don't know. It's a massive block though. Like, yeah, how did?
Yeah, look, yeah.
How did he get it up there?
It did used to spin.
Because he never had a crane. All he had was this little tripod, you know, made of junk that he found.
How did his little tripod erect this? Like,
how did he exactly? So these are the questions that aren't really looked at or answered. And, you know, no doubt someone will come up with a story, you know, where they get all the wood and they'd lay it down. They put one piece of wood under it, then they put another, and slowly they lift it up. Not really sure if that's possible either, though.
Right. Yeah, well, that's another possibility.
Well, who knows? It could be something from the old world. I mean, he could have found. I mean, the story is that he went to Florida because he wanted that certain rock as well, isn't it? He was looking for this certain type of rock.
Well,
so yeah, I don't know. Is it conductive or something? It's a wishing well.
Limestone. Yeah, look at that. Like,
oh yeah, did I?
Into like a
I was supposed to
cave or something. Building.
Hang on. Oh, even beds. Look at that.
Right? Exactly. And like
Stone beds.
these underground entrances to what? Like, and like those are deep labyrinths.
To
What
what?
the heck is
What's
right? Like
down there? What was he
exactly.
doing? Wow.
There's a couple of them.
Mystery
There's a couple
deepens,
different
literally.
stairs into nothing, like or into these caves that like
Yeah, that bit was in that old movie that showed like a lady walking up from there. And of course, all the baths and that you know they're having baths in, they're not baths. They're mirrors
pool,
to view the
reflecting
stars with,
pools.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Reflecting
Yeah.
pools, yeah. And I have to say, big shout out to Cameron if you're watching. Thank you for my arm Tesla-racky things. And someone sent me a
Nice.
calendar, but I don't know who it was because I didn't write a name or anything. So whoever sent me Biker Bob's Fantasy Babes, thank you.
Let's see
hang
it.
on.
Let's
there's
see it.
stickers. Oh my God.
Was it Sherry?
Do you
Was
want
it
to see it?
Sherry?
It probably was. Can you see it?
No.
Come on. Work. Camera. No.
Is this
Hang
here
on. I'll turn
doing
off.
with Sherry Ives? Oh, yeah, you got to turn it off.
Yeah, is it yours? Oh, that's actually, I thought maybe it was Sherry. Oh, hang on. What am I doing?
Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
Hang on. Gosh. Hang on.
The on air light
Background.
was. Oh, it was seizuring. Now it's
If I
stopped.
do
Oh,
that-
now it's seizuring again.
And maybe will it work?
Look, more beds. Well, just
How do I
watch the stars.
get big?
Oh.
There, can you see that?
Campbell figures things out. We're checking out these awesome beds and like gardens within, stairs up the walls. Like this is insane. And he moved all of this and rebuilt it. Like it's truly a castle.
Yeah. The whole thing apparently by himself, and loaded the trucks and unloaded them by himself, as the story goes.
That's like, sorry, that's impossible without some sort of secret technology.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
It truly does. Electromagnetism. I think you wanted to go up there. Be on the top. There we go.
So, hang on.
Oh, we don't need Bert and Ernie. We wanted a big Campbell.
Oh gosh. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, focus.
Is it
Focus, camera.
yeah.
Oh my God, this is not working.
You got to put your head behind it, then it will focus, Campbell. Campbell, put it in front of your face, and then it will focus.
Okay.
And
can you see that?
there you go. Now come up
God,
a
it's a bit
little
rude,
bit.
isn't
Now
it?
make it bigger. Just make it bigger. Okay, as soon as you put your face out,
That's what
it
she
stops
said.
focusing on it. You have to have your face behind it at all times. There we go.
Yep. Can you see it?
Oh
I can't see
my
anything.
goodness. Are we supposed to be seeing this? Or are we going to get my channel?
Oh, gosh, is it a rude one? See, I can't see what you're looking at.
That's
It's
why
very
it's censored.
rude, so I don't know.
That's why it's censored. That's
I don't
why
know who said it exactly.
I don't think that's
So
shared.
it's called Biker Bob's Fantasy Babes. So thank you to whoever sent me that. I have no idea who it is. Yes.
Amazing.
And let's hope this video does not get censored.
Well, actually, bless your settings of the self blurring of your background that it actually is. You popped your head out enough on time that it blurred out all of the naughties right in the time.
Oh,
right
good.
in the moment. Right in the moment. Or at least it looks like we were trying, and was amazing. All right.
I
Are there any
agree.
more?
It was actually delightful.
It was delightful. It was as delightful as oh, no memeing only cams today. Not in here.
Oh, it's not in.
But wait,
My God,
I
only
can
Cam
switch
is
things
on
up.
hold.
I can switch it up and
Oh,
still we got it.
I'm out of focus. Oh my God. Oh, there you go. Anyone interested in a chocolate night of maracas and bongos under the stars? Get your tickets on OnlyCams.
Tickets to OnlyCams.
What?
It's it.
What? Martin's channel got taken down.
What?
When did that happen? What was really? Fuck, his main one. Bloody hell, man! Like YouTube have been going mental for the last, basically since this year started. Like I got cut in half in January. Now I got cut in half again in February. Far out. So there you go. Everyone go and subscribe to the Celtic Tatarian channel. And there's the link.
Indeed.
Wow. Okay. I did not know that. Jeez. Bloody.
Right?
They do not like us exposing true history.
Not at all. And that's like, I swear, right before I was watching, like before we went live, like a couple hours ago, I guess, a few hours ago, I guess. But I was watching a Martin short that had popped up when I was flipping through shorts of him on the beach, like
maybe that was on his second one.
With his son. I don't know. That's horrible. And goodness gracious.
Jeez, man. I got a copyright the other day for one of our streams actually that we did like 2 months ago. And again, it was, I don't know, it was like some 30-second bit. Yeah, so they're going back through, it's not just the new stuff, like they're going back through channels, and it's probably how they got Martin. They go back and they just find whatever they can and try and get two or three strikes on you and just get you off the air, right?
Brutal.
Yeah. It is. So God, I hope they don't take me down. God. I mean, at least I've got a backup as well, I guess, but you just never know, right? It's happened before. Well, it's happened more than once. I went to sleep one night, woke up and my whole channel was gone.
Real science. So
the instant karma project, man, it just disappeared.
Yeah. They did not like that one.
And then my main channel too, it got taken down for 6 months, I think it was, that I couldn't access it. It was still up, but I couldn't do anything to it. Yeah, exactly right. What are they so afraid of, right? Information. It's the best currency. That's why we all need to be autodidactic, of course. Because if you don't think of it for yourself, your only choice is to believe what other people tell you. Other people like the government and the media and the education system and the health system and those blue-haired people who scream at the sky.
Just not the good yourselves, right? It's like self-education. It's the only way to do. Why does someone else need to tell you how to live? Just real science.
Exactly.
Test things yourself.
And
reading.
More to the point, why do we feel that we need to tell other people how to live? And especially the funny thing is that those ones who want to tell other people how to live the most are the ones who like being told how to live the least. It's very strange.
Indeed.
It's almost like they don't practice what they preach. I mean, I don't get it. I don't want anyone to be like me, man. I mean, I can hardly put up with myself. God, I don't want to be surrounded by Campbells.
Thus, we will never actually create. There we go. A homunculus. We will never actually create a homunculus. It's only a cartoon, Bert and Ernie homunculus. We don't need clones. Everybody needs to be an individual.
Exactly. I'm an individual, you can't fool me. An individual, you can't fool me. And there are, of course, some classic lines from the pop sensation, Mark Jacko Jackson from Australia. Oh, maybe he was an ex-footballer who got talked into doing a really bad song, but it stands that the lyrics were great. An individual, you can't fool me. See? Indivisible. He knew his soul was indivisible. Mark Jacko Jackson. Yep, Seminoles. I can still see him trouncing down the beach in his blue tank top, his blue work singlet. I'm an individual. That was great. Gosh, maybe we should find it. Should we find it and have a look at Jacko? That would be a blast from the past.
Will Jacko get us taken down and strike? Oh dear.
I'm pretty sure that if it's up, that it's not going to be copyrighted. I don't even know if it may have like committed Harry Carey just to save, the world from its influence. I'm not sure. Oh my God.
Well,
it's here. I found it.
Then it must happen.
It's by oh my God, let's do it. This is okay, guys. Now let's brace yourself for the brilliance, the lyrical brilliance, the music brilliance, and of course the cinematic brilliance of what you are about to experience. Are you ready?